bongo de rum bom bom de wop 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 wop. Georgia, bon Dieu voyage, manger manger tiran pour nous sauver.
Okay, so that's the question. Can we take this village, Boucan Ferdinand in Haiti, from barely surviving to thrive? I believe we can do that together. So let me tell you a little bit about how this got started. Back in about 2018, I started doing a lot of anti-child trafficking work in Haiti. And what we quickly realized was while Haiti was the supply of these poor children who were getting trafficked, they were actually being trafficked in the Dominican Republic at many times because the Westerners would fly down to these all-inclusive resorts or in Santo Domingo or Boca Chica, and that's where the consumption would happen. But the supply was coming from these border villages between Haiti and the DR, specifically from these villages that had families that were starving. And remember, starving is different than hungry. Hungry is uncomfortable and heartbreaking, but starving is deadly. And so these starving families were faced with what we called the impossible question: do I lose my life or lose my virtue? And we don't believe that anybody should have to make that choice. And so in an effort to stave off this starvation and the impossible choice, we came up with a plan we thought might work. So in an attempt to avoid exacerbating the issue in the area, we didn't want to flood the area with a bunch of free food and then drive up the population faster than the economy could grow to support it. We want the area to become self-reliant, and so we have a principle we call GNBO, or give nothing but opportunity. And if we think that way, it tends to help us avoid what we call lazy giving, right? And we do power giving that produces self-reliance. So our plan that we hoped would work was called Pied Bois Espoir, that's trees of hope, where we would plant hundreds of thousands of fruit trees, think avocado and mango and guanabana and citrus, in hopes of staving off that starvation and producing self-reliance for these villages. And just like with any project, nothing seems to go exactly to plan, and so luckily we filmed it. So check out Pied Bois Espoir and Boucan Ferdinand. All right, here we are. I'll say and I can see the DR over there with all the trees. How awesome is that? That's the church. I think they're visiting from out another town. Hey, babe. So because of the security situation in and around Port-au-Prince, what would normally have been like a 3-day trip through many gang territories from the airport to these rural mountain villages, instead we just flew into the Dominican Republic and then drove 5 hours back to the Dominican border, and we staged there. So a lot of this video that I'm going to show you, you'll see is in the Dominican Republic. That's where our nursery was. And then we would go in a 4-wheel drive truck up to the top of the mountain to get into this village, and then park on the border and then walk in because there's no roads into this village. So here we are in the Stocky's backyard. We are germinating the avocados right here in that pile. There's about 1,200 avocados in there. And then over here, we are germinating a bunch of mangoes under this pile of nastiness. That's what germinating mangoes looks like. Who knows what? It's more like a compost pile, but they tell me that's how you germinate mangoes. And this is the rest of Misaki's backyard. He raises roosters for fighting. It's a different culture.
We have to use Haitian people to work.
We got our pumps down there. Two separate pumps. And there's a power cable you can just barely see on the side of that tree. And it runs all the way up that tree, all the way across here into that little house. And if we go into that little house, you can see some sort of crazy electrical water runs through those pipes right there, through the ground, into these tubes, and you got sprinklers. So this whole kind of brown area here will be our netted nursery. Okay, so we're headed to Chapotin to go meet with the village elders about our tree planting project for Pied Bois Espoir. We're pretty close. And then we ran into this big guy. So we can get that truck past that tree. So one of our buddies just went up the road somewhere he thinks he might be able to find an axe. We'll chop the tree. We'll see. Here's hoping. We found an axe. Nice job, Jose. Alright, so we're here in Chapotin. We're getting these, like an empanada. Making these open holes. Shaking some sort of a seasoning in there. So we just met with this pastor. We're in Chapotin, and they seem pretty jazzed to mobilize through the churches. And I think that's how we're gonna do this. I think we'll go church by church and get them to opt in that way. That could be exciting. It's a new direction instead of having to depend on volunteers from outside the town. I don't know why I didn't think about that before. Okay, so we're here at the market. So we're over here negotiating, trying to buy a couple thousand limes. Okay, so I'm in this incredible, like, jungle farm full of tons of bananas, and we've come here looking for these lemons. We're collecting them off the ground. That's my little pile. For some reason, they only want the yellow ones. I guess those are the ones that grow the best trees, counterintuitively. But the best thing, this guy's got mango trees everywhere. You could probably see mango sauce on my face. I don't have anything to wipe it off with, but I've been gorging myself on mangoes. It's amazing. It's like my strange happy place. All right, so here we are at our nursery, Pied Bois Espoir Nursery. This is my team back there. You can maybe see them. Our director, Nilson Valsin. And you can see those are avocados that are coming up already. And then most of what's back there is all mangoes. Alright, everybody's got their plans. Getting ready to take a picture. So we do this tree planting project and it goes really well. Successfully, we plant all the trees in six or eight different villages in that area. Boucan Ferdinand quickly becomes kind of our favorite. They're favorite because not only do they have the greatest need, but they also are willing to make the greatest sacrifices to help themselves. Right? They're not whining or bickering or asking for money. They're just digging in and getting to work. And so we start to kind of hone in on them, and we go there more often than other villages. And it very quickly, once they get those trees all planted, they know they're going to have trouble watering those trees. And they've been saying that since the beginning. I just didn't have any way of solving it. And so in a moment of perhaps exasperation after the tree planting project, I said something to the effect of, hey, if you guys can build a road into this village, remember it's only accessible by donkey or walking or motorcycle. If you can get a road into this village, I'll bring a well truck. Not thinking anything would ever really come of it. A few days goes by and I get several videos in my WhatsApp thread from Jose. And I'll show you those videos. So you can imagine when I get those videos what that does to my brain. I'm at the same time mind blown, quantifying that level of sacrifice, and then at the same time thinking, I got to get to work because these guys are moving fast. And so we quickly plan a trip out there. We go again, we check out the road, we get them some pickaxes and start thinking about where we're going to put this well, how many are we going to put. We start contacting trucks that will come up the hill. We get permission from the Dominican Republic to cross the border. Anyway, all this work. So check out that footage and also some other projects that we stitched in as well.
Bon travail, bon travail. Ma forme. Excellent, Lila.
hard to explain how high this high was. These people had been doing nothing but singing prayers of gratitude while we were drilling. But then it all came crashing down when we got this heartbreaking news. So he's telling us that he hit a bunch of rock and that we need to drill. We got down about 30 feet, probably going about 75 feet. They hit rock. It was going fast and then it stopped. These guys are not loving the news. Of course, our well digging truck failed. Couldn't get through the rock, so now we need a drill. So we're trying to get out of Boucan Ferdinand, but we can't get the truck out. So I'm towing it with that cable all the way up this hill. And I've got a ways to go. This hairpin turn's got us in a bit of a pickle. Love watching these little dudes over here sitting on the hill. So this just happened. We were towing this truck up in the grade, and the road gave out, and it just about pulled us all the way down there. It's a blessing that it just stopped right there. How precarious is this situation? So the truck is down there, down the hill, about 300 feet that way, of a football field. And then we ran the cable all the way up here, through that rock, around the back of that rock, down by where those people are over there. We'll see if that holds the truck up. I don't think they're even going to need it, because I think the exit plan for the truck down there is a good plan. But this is just to make the driver feel comfortable, which I get. Come on. Just pop the tire. Oh, gosh. Yes. Yes.
No, va rodando. Dile que se apague para que apriete la polea. Que se apague para que vea.
Okay, now these guys are hustling to fill in the road so we can go back and cross it.
Girl, forward.
I just want to dig a well. So we're here in Fort de Pin with this guy here. He does not want to be on camera, that's why I walked away. Why? Because they're all extorting money out of us, and they know they shouldn't be. So there's like a master guy who's in charge of this thing, who's supposed to be able to give us a permit, but he's not here because he was at a funeral. So we shook a bunch of trees and begged, and it sounds like the guy is leaving the funeral to come here to give us the permit. Undoubtedly because he thinks he can get money from us. We went to the customs office and we got another permit. So I think we have all the permits that they can ask us for, and we're not going back to the guy who keeps giving us the list of permits we're gonna need. We're now gonna go try to cross the border, get approval from the low-level dudes at the border crossing. So hopefully that'll work. We also finally found a drill truck that will come, and it's on its way. It's probably 3.5, 4 hours out. So the road isn't fixed and ready for the truck yet. So we're going up the mountain right now with a chainsaw to help widen the road, and then come back down, hopefully in time for when the drill truck is here. So we're praying that the border situation is fixed by all of our permits. I think we have 4 now, and that the truck gets here, and that we can widen the road, and that it's strong enough to hold this massive truck. So these people have been out here since this morning working, like you can see them, and they've been doing that all day on no food. And some of these people have gone several days with, I don't know what to call it, it's like boiled citrus leaves and like orange peel for days. And they're out here working like this. That's why we're here. When we get this well put in, that'll be instant wealth increase, just from not having to spend so much of their money and time and resources on getting water to drink. Just constant reminders of how important this project is to them. And you can see it. Like, why would they sacrifice this much for this long? This is just one day. I've got miles of this road to get into their town. You can see part of it back there. Like, it's inspiring. Okay, so interesting new problem. Because we got the new truck, which is awesome, to drill for us. Because we need a drill truck to drill our well. Finally got him to come from a long way away. The new problem is this truck is so heavy in the back that we're worried that when we go up the steep hill, it'll do a wheelie and fall back this way. I guess it's happened before, according to the driver. So that's a new problem. And my guess is that at some point I'll be driving that little white truck with a tow cable connecting from there to there to keep the nose down. But it's got 2 axles with 2 differentials, which makes it technically a 4-wheel drive, which means we should be able to get up the mountain just fine, as long as we can keep the nose down. That's fun. See how that goes. Speaking of wheelies, did you see that guy go by? Okay, so we're at the National Park gate. Hopefully we're gonna get through. Here's the moment.
¿Todo bien? Hasta el permiso, no sé, aquí. Aquí.
Looking at all the permits for something that's wrong.
Bueno, yo tengo información de que esa...
So good news, bad news. Good news is it looks like we got approval to cross. Bad news is not till 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. for zero explainable reason. Super frustrated, but hopefully we can get through tomorrow morning. So we're here, it's the next morning, it's 8 o'clock. They said they'd let us through, and now he's saying he doesn't have the authority to let us through, that we have to talk to his boss. And so now we're on the phone with his boss for about 10 minutes now. Lots of yelling. It doesn't look good. There's no reason why they shouldn't let us through. The hits just keep on coming. The guy who came out and did the study, who said that there's water here, he said that there would be water between 65 and 75 feet. And we are currently at 115 feet, give or take. So I don't know who to believe at this point. We just asked the guy who's doing the drilling if he thinks he's close, meaning does he see any signs of us being close to water, and he said it's possible. It's not very encouraging. Man, I hope that there's water down there. We've got a ways to go before we run out of pipe. Here's the latest. It's now the next morning, and we got out here ready to finish pumping since it got too late last night. Anyway, hoping that there's water coming out of that well at some point. So are all these people. Be a mighty disappointed village if there's no water down there. And for all the sacrifices that they've made. Determine the depth of the water. But he said 250. We're at 170 right now. So we'll see. But bright side is they're not concerned about hitting water here. I still am, but they don't seem to be. We got down to about 270 feet, which is deeper than anybody thought we were going to need to go. And then we broke the drill tip somehow. So now I'm up on the top of a hill, sulking, trying to figure out what we're going to do next. It's frustrating. We'll figure something out someday. It's a lot of effort coming this far. We just want to move forward and get some water for these people. They're so excited. We keep disappointing them. Nah. I have some good news and some bad news, especially for that guy that you were just watching, my past self from 2022. I just watched that clip. I feel like I need to put my arm around that dude. So the good news is that we've got some solutions. Quite a bit of time has passed since then. This is January 7th, 2026. That was several years ago. And a lot has gone bad in Haiti since then. Haiti's continued to go downhill. Unfortunately, my kidnapping incident happened in there. If you're not familiar with that story, I'll put a link. But that's kept me out of Haiti for a while, as you can imagine. But we're still doing a lot of work down there. We've got people who are on the ground who can still do the work, and especially in Boucan Ferdinand. Unfortunately, we've sent engineers into Boucan Ferdinand, and there is no reasonable well water down there. It's likely down at like 1,500 feet, which might as well be 10 miles down. It's cost prohibitive. And so the alternative solution is to catch the rain out of the air, because it does rain there. The problem is it all runs off and you don't get to use it. And so we need to catch the rain, so rain catchment areas. So think of reservoirs, right? So that can be either out of concrete or vinyl. And we've met with the people of Boucan Ferdinand. They're excited to do this, and they will do all of the labor. As you've seen before, they can work very hard, and we'll provide the materials and the engineering. And with your help. So we've already raised a little bit of money to get the project going. I'll put some information here around how much water we're trying to achieve, how much we'll need to store in those catchment areas, and then associated costs. But it'll probably be somewhere around a couple $100,000 at the end. That's either one giant reservoir or several smaller ones, or we're not exactly sure. That all of that survey work is being done right now. And so we need your help to raise that money. So any amount counts and is helpful. I can't wait to see some $1 and $5 and $50, whatever amount you want to contribute. We need it and can use it. And as you've seen, it will go to a good cause. Thank you so much for trusting us. We'll put links around for stuff so you can get all the information you need to help us. But thanks for caring. Remember that this is not just about helping somebody go from survive to thrive, but this is really how we keep these kids safe from all kinds of terrible. And don't forget to follow us so you can see the project as it progresses, especially if you've donated. You're going to want to see what your dollars are going to. I'll put some sort of like a link below so you can see how much we've raised. We're getting closer to our goals. So thank you so much. Let's do this.